In this set, we are going to run into having x's on both sides of our equations. So sometimes that leads to what we call extraneous or extra solutions. They're ones that don't check in the original problem. This usually happens when you have x's or your variables on both sides. So we're going to do our solving, and then we have to check our answers because usually one doesn't work and sometimes neither work. So we just have to watch out for that. Like we've been doing, the first step is to isolate the square root. So we've got the square root all by itself. To undo the squared on the square root, we need to square both sides. So on the left, that gives us x plus 7. Now on the right, remember, x plus 5 squared really means x plus 5 times x plus 5. So if we FOIL, we'll have x squared plus 5x, and distribute the 5 plus another 5x plus 25. So x plus 5 is x squared plus 10x plus 25. And as always, pause as you need. Now we're back to our chapter 4 stuff. When we have an x squared and an x in the problem, we're going to have to set it equal to 0 and factor. So I want to end up with a 0 over here on this side. So that means we're going to have to subtract x, and keep your like terms lined up, and subtract 7, minus 7. So we get x squared plus 9x plus 18. And then we need to factor this part. So we have x times x, and two numbers that multiply to 18 and add to 9. Let's try 3 and 6, because our outsides give us 3x, our insides give us 6x, and that adds up. So we get 0 equals x plus 6, and then x plus 3. So if we set each part equal to 0, x plus 6 equals 0, and x plus 3 equals 0. And then solve both of those. We get negative 6, and we get negative 3. So now we have to check our answer. So we need to check there. And I always check the non-square root side first. Well, that might be too much for right now. I'm just going to plug in negative 6 into the problem. So is the square root of negative 6 plus 7 equal to negative 6 plus 5? So that's the square root of 1. Is that equal to negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1? And no, that's not true. Square root of 1 is 1, and that's not negative 1. So that's telling me that this was extraneous. So now we need to check the negative 3. So square root of negative 3 plus 7, is that equal to negative 3 plus 5? Well, negative 3 plus 7 is equal to 4. And on the other side, negative 3 plus 5 is 2. And the square root of 4 is equal to 2, so that checks. So our only answer here is x equals negative 3. So wow, this is everything we've been doing since before Halloween, mixed together in one problem. You gotta love it. All right, this next problem now has a square root, but the square root is not isolated. So we have to move this 3 over to the other side. So we have the square root of 5x minus 1 equals x minus 3. To get rid of the square root, we're going to square both sides. And remember, when we square that, that means x minus 3 times x minus 3. On the left side, the square root and the squared cancel. So we have 5x minus 1. On the right side, when we distribute all of this, we get x squared, and we're going to have minus 3x and another minus 3x. So it's really minus 6x plus 9. Oops. That's a plus. 6x plus 9. So now again, we need to have 0 on this side. So we add the 1, and then minus the 5x. So we have x squared minus 11x plus 10. And then when we try to factor, we have x times x. To multiply to positive 10 and add to negative 11, we're going to need negative 10 and negative 1. So let's plug those in. We've got x minus 10 and x minus 1 equals 0. So when we solve those, we have x equals positive 10 and positive 1. And we need to check. So I'm going to check the positive 10 first, so I'll check it in here. So that's the square root of 5 times 10. 5 times 10 minus 1 plus 3 to see if that's equal to 10. Well, 5 times 10 is 50 minus 1. It would be the square root of 49 minus 3. Oh, I'm sorry, plus 3. Equals 10. The square root of 49 is 7 plus 3 equals 10. Yep, that checks out. So we know 10 is an answer. And let's check the 1. The square root of 5 times 1 minus 1 plus 3, is that equal to 1? Well, 5 times 1 is 5, minus 1 is 4. So square root of 4 plus 3, is that equal to 1? This right here says 1. Well, the square root of 4 is 2, and 2 plus 3 is not equal to 1. So this is not a solution, it's extraneous. Our only answer is the 10. And then our last problem here for today. It's a word problem, but let's not panic on our word problem. Let's read it carefully. The function for the distance in meters at which a car needs to stop is given by this formula. So I'm going to assume that the d here is our distance, and the v is your speed, like your velocity. And the question, here's our last period, so start with the question. What is the speed, so what's v, if the braking distance is 8 meters? Okay, so we know our formula, 2 times the square root of v. Our d is 8, equals 2 times the square root of v. We want to isolate our radical, so let's divide by 2. So 4 equals the square root of v. The answer is not 2, because remember, this is a square root, so we need to square both sides. And I'm going to flip the order, put v first. Because the square root and the squared cancel. 4 squared is 16, and they told us our label will be in meters per second. So remember, just because it's a word problem doesn't mean it's a hard problem. And especially once they give you the formula, this one ended up being our shortest problem of the day. Now, I don't want you to write this in your summary. I want you to answer these questions in your summary. So the first one, what do we need to watch out for when we have x's on both sides of the equal sign? And how do we deal with this? And then summarize the steps for the 2 problems at the top of this page. So like, what did we do? Again, don't write down the blue, answer the blue.